Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, and welcome to Command Power, the show in which we discuss all things Magic the Gathering with a focus on Commander. And today we have another episode in our Spoiler Spotlight series in which I talk about, well, spoilers and tell you what my thoughts are on them. But before that, just a quick reminder to click subscribe if you enjoy my videos. We're well on our way to 1 million subscribers and your support means everything to me. And today we're going to be talking about Aclazotz, Deepest Betrayal. For 3 colorless and 2 black, it's a legendary creature bat god 4/4 with flying, lifelink, and whenever Aclazotz attacks, each opponent discards a card. For each opponent who can't, you draw a card. And whenever an opponent discards a land card, create a 1/1 black bat creature token with flying, and when Aclazotz dies, return it to the battlefield tapped and transformed under its owner's control. On the flip side, it is Temple of the Dead, which is a land with tap, add black, and 2 colorless 1 black, tap, transform Temple of the Dead. Activate only if a player has 1 or fewer cards in hand and only as a sorcery. So this is a super powerful card on all sides. The front side is really good. A flying lifelink 4/4 would already be pretty decent for 5 mana. Then when you add in the attack trigger, that's really good. Basically in a 4-player game of Commander, you're either going to have your opponents discard 3 cards or you're going to draw 3 cards yourself or some combination of the two. Most of the time your opponents are going to have cards in hand, so they're going to have to discard. So you're not usually going to draw cards with this, but that's still already a 3-for-1, which is really strong. And due to the third ability on the card, if they discard lands, you're getting bat tokens, which is another great payoff. A lot of the time people are going to have extra lands in hand that they don't need, and they're going to want to discard them rather than a useful spell, but if they do so, they're giving you a token, which is obviously very nice. The part that worries me a little bit about this card is that there are a lot of decks that benefit from having stuff in the graveyard or that want discard outlets, and this kind of turns that on for them a little bit, so that is a little bit less than ideal. That being said, it still has the built-in resilience that all of the gods from Ixalan seem to have in this set, which is that they flip over into a land, which then you can turn back into the original creature. So that makes this very resilient because you do have to kill it twice, basically. However, the condition to flip back over is a little bit harder to meet, but not necessarily, as we'll see. You have to have a player with 1 card or less in hand. If your opponents have been hit a couple of times by this, it's very likely that they've lost a few cards and they're close to top deck mode. But the interesting part is that it says a player, not an opponent. That means that actually you can flip this back over yourself if you have 1 card or less in hand. The part that again makes it a little bit less than ideal is that Aclazotz has an attack trigger on it, but when you flip it back over to the front side, it's going to be tapped and you can only activate the ability on the land as a sorcery. That means that it is going to be quite a slow process to get it flipped back to the front side and getting the attack trigger again. Some of the other gods that we've seen so far have passive abilities that basically always affect when they're on their front side. That seems a little bit better because even if they get flipped back over tapped, then you don't need to attack with them immediately to get the benefit of them being back in their front side. Aclazotz doesn't really have that. It's only really providing its own attack trigger. I guess that makes sense in black, seeing as that's kind of what they value, not really working as a team, but going on your own way and trying to be as powerful as you can. But it does make the card a little bit weaker overall. So I think this is going to see a lot of play in discard-centric decks. It's obviously incredibly good in Turgid, but I mean, everything is good in that deck, and I'm not sure that many people are playing that commander these days anyway. But yeah, I think it's a really cool card. I love the art on the design, particularly on the land on the back. It's gorgeous. I do think, however, it's very niche and that it might not see that much play. So there you have it. Those have been my thoughts on this new spoiler. What do you think about this card? Please let me know in the comment section below. I read all comments and respond to all of them too. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to click like or subscribe. It really helps the channel. And until next time, take care.